Bookbibuli podcast, a classic in child therapy. This is the true story of Dibs, a boy who refuses to speak or play, trapped in a world of his own. Isolated and withdrawn, he has built an invisible prison around himself. But through patience and understanding, he slowly learns to reach for the light, embrace life, and make a breathtaking discovery, his own identity, ultimately finding his way back to the world of other children. I see this book as the story of a remarkable connection between two extraordinary individuals who found each other, bonded deeply, and helped one another grow and change. While Axline emphasizes the importance of self discovery, self building, and self solidification, Dips in Search of Self is ultimately about relationship and love, the unique bond Axline formed with his child, and the profound journey they shared. What stays with you most is the idea that healing love in any context has one defining characteristic: it creates space for the other. And we have Manya with us today to discuss this path-breaking book. Hello, Manya.
Hi, my name is Manya. I'm currently a first year student at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, and I'm majoring in psychology. So, this was a really interesting book for me to read, and I'm really grateful that I got the opportunity to come and talk about it on this podcast.
Great to have you back, Manya. So let's talk about our book, Dibs in Search of Self. Dibs is the main protagonist. He is autistic. He knows who he is, but most adults don't know who they are or pretend they don't know who they are. Do you think that's true?
Honestly, I think most adults, especially his parents, did know that Dibs was autistic, but they just seemed to be having a hard time accepting it and found it easier to just say that he was mentally retarded. Even Dibs' teachers knew that he wasn't because his behavior said otherwise, but they were just not able to help Dibs. There was even a moment at the start where they explicitly questioned if he had autism, but nothing ever came of it. Personally, I think that his parents were perhaps just scared of the label that ASD brings, so they didn't do anything about it. So they did know, but they were pretending not to know because that was just the easier way out.
Now, I have to confess that till you suggested this book, I had no idea that Dibs was a child and our main protagonist. And once I knew him, my heart went out to him. He's a lost little kid, like we are all at heart. The world's blind aggression leaves countless casualties in its wake. Do you think worldview at large causes a lot of hurt?
In my opinion, the worldview at large absolutely does cause a lot of hurt. Because whether it was intentionally or unintentionally, almost everyone around Dibs made him feel hurt in some type of way, simply because they didn't make an effort to understand. For example, the two girls that passed the playroom window said hi to Dibs, and when he didn't say hi back, they were immediately mean, making Dibs feel hurt. They had, of course, no way of knowing what Deb's situation was, but they didn't even stop to consider it and were just blindly mean. Another example is of Deb's own parents, who were always so concerned about how Debs affected their lives and how Debs made them look that they never noticed how their upbringing of Debs was affecting him so harshly. There is so much to learn from the treatment of Debs by the people in this book, since we should always be mindful with our words, considering we may not know what someone is going through internally.
How to wake up someone with ASD? Don't, and I'm repeating it, don't hit them with a sledgehammer. Deal with them openly and caringly. What's your take, Manya?
I think that the way Miss A, as Debs calls her, treats Debs from the very start with understanding and compassion and patience, making sure he knows that she understands exactly how he's feeling and gives him the space to be and to do what he wants is exactly how someone with ASD should be treated. Debs even tells Miss A later that when he first enters the playroom, he felt uneasy and scared, but it was when Miss A told him that nobody was going to hurt him there that he was put to ease. On the other hand, there was Dib's parents, who tried to fix him but never understand him. Their methods were harsh and left a mark on Dibs, causing him to resent his family and to be completely shut off from them. Therefore, it's important to deal with someone with ASD with the utmost kindness and understanding so that you can build a relationship with them and not push them away.
What's the key to breaking the darkness of bleak isolation? It's rediscovering ourselves in their natural, joyful interrelatedness within society and following in Dip's footsteps. We learn the secret to ourselves' relationship to the world. It's play. I wish we could learn this, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Instead of the Thursday sessions becoming a sort of chore or something he has to get over with, like school perhaps, Dibs looks forward to them because it's a place where he can just come and have fun. He does whatever he likes to do without the absence of restraints. So it becomes more like a fun game to him that brings him joy that he doesn't otherwise experience in any other aspect of his life. Tibbs faces a lot of pressure in his life, much like all of us do on a daily basis. But it is this 1 hour that was just to have some fun, to be comfortable. And in my opinion, all of us deserve such a break to allow us to be at ease. We will grow hand in hand.
Well, Manya, you have been growing along with Bookbibuli. So I would definitely like to have your insights about the platform.
To also talk a little about Bookbibuli, I think it's a very helpful tool for readers across ages and reading levels to discover new books and see what they might like to read. It also provides a platform for children to share their thoughts about a book and provide a different and unique perspective to each.
Again, to the book. What I think this book is, I think it's the story of a very unique encounter between two, again, very unique individuals who found each other, who are complementary and supplementary to each other. Do you think that happens, Manya?
I agree. The way that Miss A provides a space for this exceptional child to grow and gives him her all to understanding him is something that nobody else had ever done for Dibs before. She listens to him, shows compassion and understanding to all that he is feeling, and makes sure that he knows that he is being heard. Dibs and Miss A are in no way alike. Yet, Dibs is comfortable because he knows that whatever he is feeling is being understood by Miss A. He says in one interaction, and I quote, "You do not call me stupid. I say help, you help. I say I don't know, you know. I say I can't, you can." Unquote. And I think that is a great example of how their relationship works and how Miss A helps Dibs to grow.
You know, the incident that stayed with me was the mother's visit with Axeline, which is wonderful. Axeline treats the mother the same way she treats Dibs. She listens, takes her in, gives her space, passes no judgment at all, honors her pain and confusion, and gives no advice. What did you think about this particular incident?
I think that all of the interactions between Dibs' mother and Axline showcases this. With Dibs, Axline never pushed him to say anything or frowned upon anything he said. She merely gave him the space to say whatever he wants and passed no judgment when he did. She gave no advice, just constantly let him know that she knows how he feels and that she understands. And she does the exact same thing with his mother. Tibbs' mother spills her heart to Axline on her own, saying things that she knows that she ideally shouldn't be saying and has probably never said out loud before. But in the presence of Axline, who simply sits and listens, not interrupting and not passing any sort of judgment, she feels comfortable enough to talk about difficult things each time she talks to her.
In a really lovely passage, little 5-year-old Dibs goes up to Miss Axeline and asks her, "What are you?" "You're not a mom because I have my mom. You're not a teacher because I have my teachers. What are you?" And that incident touched me. What did you think about that?
The very last time that Dibs is in the playground, He is jumping around gleefully, saying goodbye to his toys and playing with them one last time. When he says to Miss A that he can't figure out who she is. She's not his mother, or a teacher, or a member of his mother's bridge club. So who is she? Miss A doesn't answer the question either, but Dibs decides that even if he can't figure it out, it doesn't matter. To him, she's just the lady of the wonderful playroom.
I know that, Manya, you are studying psychology. So I think you would be the best person right now to talk a little more about therapy and a therapist.
Earlier in the book, Dibs asks Miss A what therapy is, and she wisely says that it is a chance for him to come and talk about anything in any way he wants. It's a time when he can be the way he wants to be and just be himself. And I think that is the perfect way to explain the job of a therapist. A therapist gives you the space to be able to do all those things. A shoulder you can rely on, and someone in front of whom you can be open and comfortable and vulnerable.
Thank you so much, Manya, for being with us today. As always, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to be on this podcast and talk about one of my favorite books ever. It is a great way for me to reflect on what I have read and gives me the opportunity to voice my thoughts to others.
Virginia Axeline's Dibs in Search of Self is a compelling and deeply moving account of child therapy, offering a rare glimpse into the transformative power of unconditional acceptance and play therapy. The book follows Dibs, a young boy who appears emotionally shut down, silent, withdrawn, and unresponsive to the world around him. Through Axeline's patient and non-directive therapeutic approach, Dibs gradually emerges from his isolation, revealing a sharp intellect and deep emotional wounds. Axeline presents the story as a case study, but with a narrative style, which obviously makes it engaging and accessible. The themes are of self-discovery, emotional healing, and the power of a trusting relationship. The book moves at a steady, thoughtful pace, reflecting the gradual nature of Dib's progress. The I would say each session is detailed, and you can actually witness the transformation of Dibs in real time. Some people might find the details accounts a little slow, others will appreciate the depth of insight. So, to each his own poison. The writing is clear, compassionate, and easy to follow. Uh, Axelite avoids clinical jargon, making the book approachable for both professionals and general readers. The tone is warm and empathetic. Uh, while I would say the book is accessible to a general audience, it is best suited for adults or mature teens interested in psychology. Young readers may find the themes complex and the slow paced nature less engaging. And now it's time for Bookbibuli Read Freckle. Dibs in Search of Self is a heartful, insightful book that sheds light on the power of patience, understanding, and human connection. While its slow, detailed approach may not appeal to all readers, those interested in psychology, education, or therapy will find it both enlightening and inspiring. The books leading to this are The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog, Far from the Tree, and Toto-chan. And the apt successor would be Play Therapy by Virginia Axline. Until next week, better read, read better.